Hi there. I'm doing a series of podcasts on some of the people who have been a great influence in my professional journey. Have you ever wondered, can a customer help a salesman's career, a professional growth? Let's find out. Before I talk about Dr. C Shenoy, the then head of quality control and research and development, I need to give a 101 on paper making. I think that will be too long. Let me do a 55.5. See, when the paper is made, the pulp slurry, as you call it, it contains 99% of water and 1% of fiber. And in that 1%, there will be a filler. It can be a talc, it can be a calcium carbonate or anything. So this pulp has to be retained on the wire. So if the water gets drained out, then it is pressed and then it is dried and then it's converted into paper. Now, traditionally, India was making paper using an acid sizing, means the paper was made in acid pH medium, and then slowly they were moving out to neutral sizing and eventually to alkaline sizing. Sorry, I had to give you this heads up. To retain the fiber on the wire, you need to use a retention aid, basically a polymer. This is where my career and Dr. Shenoy intervened. So I had got a job in this, the most coveted job for a chemical salesman in 1994. I joined this company, a pioneer in polymer chemistry, a specialty chemical company, a US-based company. So I made the first cold call to this BGPPL, Ballarpur, and I met Dr. Shanam. So 1 minute into this conversation, he said, Ramesh, why are you coming here, wasting your time and my time? I felt like Jim Hacker of S Minister, whose career was supposed to be over as a minister in Department of Administrative Affairs even before it started. I thought my career in this company will probably last 2 weeks. So I took a deep breath and told him, sir, I spent 4 years in a paper mill and 5 years in a sizing company, Ivex Paper Chemicals. So please give me a chance and I'll do my best. And I asked him, sir, what happened? He said, for the last 2 years, we have been trying to get a retention aid, the polymer I talked about. And a representative from NALCO comes once in a while, he does some tests, he sends a report, and then he stays there. It's waste of the company's time and our time because we give you all the facility to do the lab work. I understood, sir, I'll do my best. For the next 9 months, I visited the mill every week. Getting there itself is a task. I need to take a cab from Pune to Bombay, take a flight to Nagpur, and then drive another 5 hours to the mill. This I did week after week for about 6 months. Sorry, 8 months. So every week I'll do a series of lab tests. I'll show it to him. He will say, Ramesh, this still will not work on machine. I need better indication from your lab work. I would go next week, next week, and I change the polymer samples, I change the method of testing, I change the dosage levels, I tried everything possible. So eventually we found a light at the end of the tunnel and they gave me the okay. So I got the equipment and the product and ran a trial for next 2 months. So eventually we got success and then my career took off. So in all these 8 months, he was very patient. He was guiding me in where I was going wrong. He was giving me suggestion. I would always tell him, sir, I don't know this. I'll get back to you. Then go back, do my homework, talk to technical guys in the company, and get back to the mill. Essentially, it was a success. So yes, you played a great role. The second incident was, as I said, the paper mills were moving from acid sizing to neutral sizing, and eventually the goal was to get into alkaline sizing. So you make the paper in an alkaline medium. So they found out a company who could give the sizing chemical, and I was to provide the retention aid. So this is a combination trial. To cut the long story short, I got all the equipment, different set of polymers, and set up the equipment and worked 72 hours straight before the trial started. It was most important trial for the mill and another step in my career. 2 hours after starting the trial, I fainted because I was in the plant for 72 hours and very harsh conditions. So the news got to him. He came rushing. He said, Ramesh, come with me. So he took me to the Peppermill Colony Hospital and gave me, if his wife was a doctor, and she gave me some electrol. And he told me, Ramesh, now go to the guest house. I don't want to see you till tomorrow morning. I went to the guest house. In 2 hours' time, I was back at the machine. He was furious. He said, this simple instruction you cannot follow. I told you, this is our responsibility. You are not only a supplier to us, uh, you are a guest in our mill. Was, for a young man, this was really a big thing, that getting this kind of support and encouragement from the customer. That was the second incident. Then later I switched jobs. I think in the previous blog I mentioned this. Uday Pantankar and I joined Betts Paper Cum, Betts Dearborn, which became. And then we were making our first call to the BGPPL paper mill. So Dr. Shenoy said, please come. I said, sir, I'm trying to take my regional director, Mike Grandy from Singapore. Once he confirms his schedule, I'll get back to you. So we got the appointment. We all met him, and then he received us warmly. And then he said, what can you do for us? And then Mike Grandy explained the product lines which the Betts Dearborn had. And then he took us to the head of the unit. And 5 minutes into the conversation, the unit head told Mike Grandy, look, Mr. Grandy, I understand the importance of technology and how you all have been pioneers in that. But at the same time, I don't want my paper machine to become a guinea pig for you, for your experiments, because we are working under tremendous pressure and competitive industry. So Mr. Maitland said, we'll take care. But then Mr. Shenoy said something which stands with me even today. He told the unit head, sir, I don't know about the company, but I know Ramesh. If he is not 100% sure, he will not take the chemical to the paper machine. I'm confident of him. Mike Grandy was stunned. When we went back to Singapore, he wrote me a memo saying that, Ramesh, I was amazed to see this kind of a support that you can get from the customer. Keep it up. Yes, Mr. Shenoy was a great influence in my career, and he did not stop with that. Even after my leaving the companies, whenever a representative used to go to him, you would tell him, guys, you know why Ramesh was successful? He said, sir, can you tell me? You would immediately say, Ramesh had ears like Ganesha ears. You know the elephant guard, big ears. You would listen to the customer. You would not come and tell me what I should be doing. You would listen and you will say, sir, if there is a way we can help you, I will find a way out. So that was his approach. So in every step of the way, in my initial years, Dr. Shenoy played a huge part. So yes, have you ever wondered customer can play a role? Yes, they can. But all you need to do is you have to show the intent, you have to show the commitment, and you should be ready to put in the long hours for the hard work. See you guys. Thanks for watching.